Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome back to Hello English World, the podcast where you sip your coffee, relax your mind, and quietly become fluent in English one story at a time. I'm Rose.
And I'm Leo. And Rose, before we even start today, can I confess something?
Uh-oh, that sounds serious.
Yesterday, I opened my phone to check the time. Just the time. 2 hours later, I looked up and I had watched 14 videos about how octopuses open jars.
Octopuses opening jars?
14 videos, Rose. 14.
Okay, well, that is actually the perfect story to open today's episode with, because today we are talking about something every single one of us struggles with, something universal, no matter where you live, what language you speak, or what job you have.
Time, and specifically, how easily we waste it.
Today's episode is called Don't Waste Your Time, and by the end of this episode, you're going to walk away with new English vocabulary, a grammar tip you can use immediately, a real story that might feel a little too familiar, and a challenge to try this week.
So get comfortable, take a breath, and let's dive in.
So, Leo, let's be honest with our listeners. Why do you think it's so easy to waste time these days?
Honestly, I think it's because wasting time doesn't feel like a mistake in the moment. It feels comfortable. It feels relaxing. Scrolling on your phone, rewatching a show you've already seen 5 times, saying I'll start tomorrow, none of that feels dangerous.
That's such a good point. It's not like touching a hot stove where you get instant pain and you learn immediately.
Exactly. Wasting time is a slow leak, not a loud explosion. You don't notice the damage until months or years later.
And I think that's exactly why so many of our listeners feel this deep, quiet frustration. They're not lazy people. They're smart, ambitious people learning a new language, building a new life, maybe studying for exams or trying to grow a career. But somehow the days just disappear.
Right. You wake up on a Sunday night and think, wait, where did my weekend go?
That feeling. Everyone listening right now knows exactly what we're talking about.
So let's break this down. What actually steals our time?
I'll start. Number one, and I think this is the biggest one, is distraction. Our phones are designed, literally designed by very smart engineers to keep us scrolling.
It's not an accident, it's an industry.
Exactly. Number two is procrastination, putting off important tasks for smaller, easier, more comfortable ones.
Guilty.
We're all guilty. Number three is what I call fake busyness, doing 100 small, unimportant tasks so you feel productive while completely avoiding the one big task that actually matters.
Oh, that one hurts. That one really hurts, Rose.
And number four, saying yes to everything and everyone until your own goals get pushed to the very bottom of the list.
So basically, time doesn't disappear on its own. We give it away, piece by piece, without even noticing.
Beautifully said. And that's really the heart of today's message. Time isn't stolen from us. Most of the time, we hand it over ourselves.
All right, it's time for our favorite part of the show, Vocabulary Spotlight. Rose, hit us with the first word.
Our first word is procrastinate. It's a verb, and it means to delay doing something, usually something important, often because you'd rather do something easier or more fun instead.
Example sentence?
I always procrastinate before big exams. I clean my whole room instead of studying.
That is way too relatable. Okay, my word is productive. It's an adjective that describes doing useful work and achieving good results, not just staying busy.
Give us an example.
I turned off my phone for 2 hours, and it was one of the most productive mornings I've had all month.
Perfect. Next word, distraction. It's a noun, meaning something that takes your attention away from what you should be focusing on.
My phone notifications are a constant distraction when I'm trying to study.
So true. And my next one, prioritize. It's a verb, meaning to decide which tasks are most important and deal with those first.
You need to prioritize your health before your career, or eventually you'll lose both.
Wow, deep.
I try. Last word for today, discipline. A noun meaning the ability to control your behavior and make yourself do things even when you don't feel like it.
Success isn't about motivation. It's about discipline, doing the work even on the days you don't feel inspired.
Beautiful. 5 powerful words: procrastinate, productive, distraction, prioritize, discipline. Try using at least one of these in a sentence today and tell us in the comments.
Now let's move into our grammar tip of the day. Leo, today we're talking about a grammar point that fits perfectly with our topic.
Let me guess. Something about time?
Exactly. Today's tip is about the difference between spend time and waste time and how to correctly use the structure spend/waste plus time plus verb-ing.
Okay, break it down for us.
So in English, when we talk about how someone uses their time, we often use this pattern: subject plus spend plus amount of time plus verb-ing.
Can you give an example?
Sure. I spend 2 hours every day learning English. Notice, after spend, we don't say to learn, we say learning. The verb takes the ing form.
So it would be wrong to say, I spend 2 hours to learn English.
Correct. That's a common mistake for English learners. The correct structure is always spend or waste plus time plus the ing form of the verb.
Let's do the opposite version with waste.
He wastes so much time watching videos he doesn't even enjoy. Or, don't waste your time worrying about things you cannot control.
That second one is basically today's whole episode in one sentence.
It really is. Let's give our listeners a little practice. Leo, complete this sentence. I spend 1 hour every morning.
I spend 1 hour every morning exercising and drinking my coffee slowly.
Beautiful, natural English. Listeners, pause right now and say your own sentence out loud. I spend time, verb-ing. Practice makes it stick.
All right, Rose, I know you have a story for us today.
I do. This is a story many of our listeners might recognize themselves in. Let's meet a man named Daniel.
Set the scene for us.
Daniel was 32 years old, working an office job he didn't love in a mid-sized city. Every single day looked the same. He'd wake up already tired, scroll through his phone in bed for 45 minutes before even standing up.
Oh no, I know exactly what that feels like.
He'd rush to work, sit through meetings that could have been emails, come home exhausted, order food instead of cooking, and then spend 3 or 4 hours at night watching videos, switching between apps, not really enjoying anything, just scrolling.
That sounds less like relaxing and more like being stuck.
That's exactly the word Daniel used later, stuck. He always told himself, I'll start learning something new next month. I'll start exercising next week. I'll finally write that book someday. But someday never came.
So what changed?
One evening, Daniel's grandmother called him. She was 81 years old, and she asked him a simple question. Daniel, if you had only 1 more year to live, what would you regret not doing?
Whoa, that's a heavy question.
Daniel sat there in silence for almost a full minute, and then, quietly, he started listing things. Learning to paint, visiting his old best friend who lived in another city, actually finishing the online course he had paid for 2 years earlier and never opened.
He probably realized none of those things were impossible, he just wasn't giving them time.
Exactly. That night, Daniel did something simple but powerful. He didn't create some extreme, impossible plan. He just made one small rule for himself. No phone for the first hour after waking up, and no phone for the last hour before sleeping.
That's it? Just 2 hours?
Just 2 hours. But those 2 hours, used with intention, changed everything. In the morning hour, he started stretching and writing in a journal. In the evening hour, he opened that forgotten online course.
And?
6 months later, Daniel had finished the course, he had learned basic painting, he had visited his old friend, and most importantly, he told his grandmother, I don't feel stuck anymore. I feel like I'm actually living my life, not just watching it pass by.
Wow, that gave me chills a little bit.
Daniel's story teaches us something really important. You don't need 20 extra hours in your day. You just need to protect a few honest hours from distraction and use them with purpose.
It's not about having more time, it's about respecting the time you already have.
Beautifully said, Leo.
So, Rose, based on Daniel's story, what practical steps can our listeners take starting today?
Great question. Let's give our listeners 5 simple, real steps. Nothing extreme, nothing that requires becoming a different person overnight.
I like that. Let's go one by one.
Step 1. Identify your biggest time waster. For most people, it's the phone. Be honest with yourself. What app do you open without even thinking?
For me, it's definitely video apps. I open them automatically, like a reflex.
Step 2. Protect 1 hour a day. Just one, like Daniel did. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent.
Step 3.
Do the hardest task first. In English, we sometimes call this eating the frog, doing the most difficult or most important task before anything else, while your energy and focus are still fresh.
I love that expression. Step 4.
Say no more often. Every time you say yes to something unimportant, you're quietly saying no to something that actually matters to you, your goals, your rest, your growth.
That one's hard for people pleasers.
It really is. And step 5, ask yourself the grandmother question. If I had limited time left, would I be okay with how I'm spending today? You don't need a health scare to ask yourself that. You can ask it right now, today, this evening.
5 steps. Find your time waster, protect 1 hour, eat the frog, say no more, and ask the grandmother question.
Simple but powerful. Just like learning English, it's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about small, consistent honesty with yourself.
All right, listeners, it's challenge time. Every episode, we give you something small and practical to actually practice, both your English and your life skills.
Here's this week's listener challenge. For the next 3 days, choose just 1 hour, morning or evening, and remove your phone completely from that hour.
During that hour, do one thing that matters to you. Read, write, study English, call someone you love, exercise, anything meaningful.
And here's the English practice part. Write 2 or 3 sentences about your experience using today's grammar structure. I spent my hour blanking, or I didn't waste my hour blanking.
For example, I spent my hour reading a book instead of checking my phone, and I felt calmer than I have in weeks.
Beautiful example, Leo. Share your sentences in the comments below this video. We genuinely read them, and we love seeing your progress.
Your English is improving every single time you practice out loud, even if it feels small. Small hours build big changes in your language skills and in your life.
So to everyone listening today, whether you're washing dishes, walking outside, commuting to work, or lying in bed with your headphones in, thank you for spending this time with us.
And that's actually a perfect final thought. You spent time with us today, not wasted it. You listened, you learned new words, you practiced grammar, and you heard a story that maybe felt a little like your own life.
That's exactly what this podcast is for. Learning English shouldn't feel like a chore. It should feel like this, a conversation between friends, where you grow a little every single episode.
If today's episode meant something to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe a friend who always says, "I'll start tomorrow."
And don't forget to subscribe to Hello English World so you never miss an episode.
We'll see you next time. Until then,
Don't waste your time. Spend it well.
bye for now.
Take care, everyone.